What's up, guys? Priceless Parlays back with a UFC 315 recap. I'm going to be going over, who won and who lost. Big deal. You already know all that stuff. You probably got bjpen.com sending you notifications or MMA Junkie, but mainly I'm here to let you know if I won or lost any money on the parlays. We did win some money on UFC 314, and then the fight nights since then, we haven't been doing so good. But guess what? It's a pay-per-view. We put a couple extra units. Usually we're doing about 14. We did 18 on this one, and we made some money. And if you saw my video last week, you already know how. If you follow on TikTok or Instagram where I post some of the cycle parlays, you already know how. But in case you missed it, I'm going to let you know. We'll also be touching on the retirement of the greatest featherweight of all time and how it was absolute bull what they did to him. Don't forget, Fighter of the Year, Jose Aldo. Don't know what year that was, but I'll figure it out and post it in the comments or something. But yeah, man, pretty depressing. Very depressing. I didn't answer my phone all weekend. The boys were calling me. Usually they'll talk a lot of smack and tell me my boys washed up, but they felt bad for me. And I felt bad for me. And I feel bad for Aldo. That's ridiculous how they did my man. But anyways, we're going to talk about the parlays, the bets that hit, the bets that didn't hit, how much we bet, how much we won. We'll touch a little bit on who should be matched with who next. More towards the main card. Not really worried about the prelims that much. Might touch on one or two things. But for the most part, we'll just be giving a quick recap. So first fight of the night, Al Makan versus Brad Katana. Remembered his name this time. I forgot it in the last video for like 35 seconds. Couldn't remember Brad Katana's name. My apologies. But yeah, that fight went pretty similar to how I thought it was going to go. I just thought that when Al Makan landed, he wouldn't have put Katana straight to sleep. I thought that there would be a bit of a panic wrestling phase where Katana grabbed onto his ankles and survived a little bit. But I mean, if you're 11-2 with 9 knockouts, you dropped Umar Nurmagomedov in like 10 seconds when you fought him, chances are you're going to knock out the majority of your opponents. Anytime I see Al Makan plus money for a knockout and he's fighting a guy that's not in the top 5, I got to take it. Especially when he's a favorite. If he's fighting Umar again or one of these guys, I mean, even like Davison Figueiredo or somebody like that, yeah, I might not touch that. But Al Makan by knockout over any of these top 15 guys or below, if it's plus money, yeah, we're touching on it. If you saw my last video, you know that I picked Al Makan to win, and the method was by decision. But that was not what we were betting on. Our most confident bet was Al Makan, money line. We hit there. And then we had Al Makan by knockout as our valuable bet at plus 380. Green all day. Our long shot pick, which we did not do very good on the long shots on this card, but we never do. If we can hit, 3 out of 12, that's pretty good. But Al Makan by knockout in rounds 2 or 3, which did not hit because he went and knocked him out in round 1. Who'd have thought? Not me. I thought the knockout was coming. I didn't think it was going to be in round number 1, though. But, it is what it is. Can't win them all. And then on to the Santos fight. Santos versus Lee. I mentioned in the last video that this was the hardest fight to call for me. Not just picking the winner, but also picking what to bet on. So I picked Santos to win. It was really 50-50. So that was luck. There's no skill there at calling Santos to win. I was going back and forth between him and Lee. But then I thought these guys were they were just going to bang. And Santos had never been finished, so I was like, man, somebody's getting knocked out. It's probably going to be the dude who's been knocked out before. So we took Santos to win. We took him to win by knockout. But our confident bet was for the fight to go under 2.5 rounds. And it went to decision. I wasn't mad at it. I like to start off the night strong. Usually when I do my ladder sequence, I like to do it off the first 3 fights of the night. But because Santos and Lee was so hard to call, I wasn't stressing it. The only reason why I even gave my prediction for it is because I give a prediction for every fight. That doesn't mean I'm going to bet on every fight. I don't think I bet on that fight at all, other than the 12-leg parlay that we put 0.2 units on every week. That's the only time I threw it in there, and I took it under 2.5. So, second fight of the night, and our full fight card parlay was already smashed. But what are you going to do? Our valuable bet, this one was hard for me too. I was like, do we take Santos or we take Lee? We took Santos. He was a slight underdog. At the time when I took him, it was still minus like 102. I know there was plus money on him at some point. We took Santos money line. We hit there. Fight to end in knockout is our long shot. I mean, I don't want to say not even close because they were beating the crap out of each other, but, no long shot there, but Santos money line did hit. And then on to the Marc-Andre Barrieu versus Bruno Silva fight. I'm pretty sure Bruno Silva's all right. I don't know. They were giving updates throughout the fight. I'd never seen the UFC give updates like that throughout the fight. People must have been really worried about Bruno Silva. I believe he's fine. I think I saw his manager post like that he is very upset, kind of questioning his return, sort of like the featherweight GOAT. Bruno Silva will probably fight again. Aldo, probably not. But Marc-Andre Barrieu looked good. It was almost like I could see the future when he had him up against the cage like that, and I was like, he's gonna knock him out with an elbow right now. And right afterwards he hit him with it, and it was almost like I had already seen it happen. It's actually pretty weird. But we picked Marc-Andre Barrieu to win, and we picked him to win by knockout. Our confident bet on the fight was under 2.5 rounds, which we did put in quite a few parlays. Our valuable bet was Marc-Andre Barrieu by knockout or decision, which I did put in quite a few parlays. And the long shot, Marc-Andre Barrieu by knockout in round 1. We straight betted it at plus 600. We'll get to that later, but we did sweep that fight. We picked Barrieu to win. We picked it by knockout. We bet under 2.5 on the confident. We bet knockout or decision on the value. And we bet knockout round 1 on the long shot. So that was a full sweep. The Sterling fight, we picked Sterling to win by decision. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter because we did not bet that. We bet Sterling money line. It was like a minus 320. There wasn't a lot of value in it. I did throw it in quite a few parlays to double some money or triple some money, but on some 3-leggers. But Sterling money line was the confident pick. And then the fight to end in knockout was the valuable pick. I really thought it would. And it almost did. This close. But Urslan by knockout was the long shot, because when you're fighting that dude, anybody like Urslan or Kutalaba, any of those guys, if they're a big underdog, I might touch on them to win by knockout because they've got so much power, you never know. So it was like a plus 600. Didn't hit, but at least we got the confident pick with Sterling money line. Okay. Bukauskas versus Ion Kutalaba. I picked the winner. I picked how I thought they would win. I gave a confident pick. I gave a valuable pick. And I gave a long shot pick. Bukauskas was who I picked to win. But let's be honest, he didn't win that fight. This one should be X's all across the board. It should be 5. I picked Bukauskas to win by knockout. Under 2.5 on the confident bet. Bukauskas by knockout round 1 or 2 is the valuable bet. And for the fight to end in submission. But Bukauskas won a decision. He got Ion Kutalaba got robbed by the judges. I mean, Bukauskas was landing some clean shots, but just the volume was in the favor of Kutalaba. So it really sucks for Kutalaba. I hate to see that twice in one night. I mean, I did want Bukauskas to win. I enjoy watching Bukauskas fight. Didn't really enjoy watching him fight against Ion Kutalaba, but that dude's so scary that I don't blame him for fighting like that. It is what it is. I'm sure Bukauskas will come back and viciously knock somebody out in his next fight, and Kutalaba will probably do the same thing. But Yeah, so we got X's all across the board there. We picked Bukowskis, but he should have lost that decision. So I'm not going to take any credit there. That was a bad call. He should have lost that fight for sure. Now, Jasmine Jasudavicius, I am sorry that I doubted you. Although I picked you to win, I picked you to win by decision. That fight was not making it to decision. If she hadn't choked out Jessica Andrade, she was going to knock her out. Jessica Andrade had no answer for Jasmine Jasudavicius, and I kind of thought she wouldn't, but she's always got a puncher's chance. I don't think she landed a punch. So your puncher's chance doesn't work if you can't land a punch. So we took Jasudavicius money line. It was like probably our most confident pick of the night. We had it in most of the parlays, or quite a few of the parlays. We had it in our ladder sequence. We had her in a cycle parlay that did not hit. We run 3 cycle parlays every week. She might have been in 2 of them, the 2 that didn't hit, unfortunately. But we took her money line as our confident pick. We took double chance submission or decision as our valuable pick. It was minus 170. I know that the knockout was possible, but if you wanted to find a little value in JJ, that was your best bet, and it worked for us. And then Jasudavicius by decision as our long shot. I know better now. Next time I'll go for her by submission, because she is a dog and she is out here choking these girls out. So I learned my lesson there. I won't doubt her finishing ability next time. But yeah, we got the confident pick and the valuable pick right there. All right. Moving on to Mike Malott. I'm saying his name correct now. I'm going to try to not say Mike Mallet here. Mike Malott, we picked him to win. We picked it by decision. What did he do? He knocked that dude out in round 2. I thought Radke was going to do a lot better based on how confident he was in his interviews. But, I don't know. Something about Canada, man. You just can't get it done over there. But Radke, he went out on a shield. I saw him post on Instagram. He doesn't seem too hard on himself. He seems in good spirits despite going over there and calling Mike Malott all kinds of crazy names and then going out there and getting put to sleep. But it is what it is. We took Mallet money line, and we had that money line in the ladder parlay, or in the ladder sequence. We had it in some cycle parlays. We straight betted Mike Malott knockout or decision plus 110. So money line was a confident pick. Knockout or decision was the valuable pick. We had decision as the long shot, but he had to go and knock that fool out. But it is what it is. Onward to my boy Benoit. So we had a little issue with Benoit in the last YouTube video. I try to put these videos out as soon as the odds drop so that people have time to build their parlays and their betting strategy based off of my picks. Don't tail my picks, but don't tail my bets. But if you want to see what I think is going to happen and then build your own stuff, go right ahead. But Benoit by submission, none of that stuff had been released yet. All we had was Benoit to minus 1,300. But if you saw the YouTube video, I picked Benoit to win, and I picked submission as the method. And then if you're on Instagram or TikTok, where I post some of my bets a couple days closer to the fight, you would see that I was taking Benoit submission as my confident bet, Benoit submission in round 1 or 2 as the valuable bet, and Benoit by submission in round 1 as the long shot. He got the submission in round 2. So we smacked the confident pick and the valuable pick. Not the long shot again. But Benoit looked good. That dude, everybody was saying he was going to finish him early, but that guy had a great opportunity in front of him, and he tried really hard to make something out of it. And I'm sure the UFC saw that and will give him another chance, but it's just it was not enough to beat Benoit. Did I tell you guys I went and saw Benoit fight Dustin Poirier live? And I'm a huge Dustin Poirier fan. And so I'm like all excited to go in there and cheer for Dustin Poirier. I went to get a drink and a pizza, and I was climbing over the chairs, and I had my drink on my pizza, and I spilled my drink on some dude in a leather jacket. I don't know why he was wearing a leather jacket at a UFC fight in Miami. I spilled Dr. Pepper all down him. It was a puddle in his lap. I felt so bad. I was like, bro, usually I don't feel like the majority of the people in this building can kick the shit out of me, but at a UFC fight, I feel that way. And I'm like, dude, I mean, he didn't look tough or nothing, but I was like, my bad, dude. I'm so sorry. Not because I feared for my life, but more because I just spilled Dr. Pepper in a puddle in his lap. I definitely ruined his night. But once I made it to my seat with no Dr. Pepper and just a pizza, just in time for the Dustin Poirier fight, with my boy, I look to my left, and there's these 3 dudes looking like they're straight out of the military. They look like they kill people for fun, regularly. And they were not speaking English. But they were doing some kind of chant for Benoit. They were like buddies. They knew him personally, yo. And I was like, bro, I can't even cheer for Dustin Poirier right now because these dudes right here will f us up. And my boy's like, yeah, you're probably right. We probably shouldn't. So we're watching the Dustin Poirier fight, and Dustin's getting his whooped by Benoit. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, I guess, because if he was Benoit up and we were like, let's go, Dustin, we'd probably be getting beat up right now. So, and then whenever Dustin caught him, so they shut up so quick, bro. They were just quiet the whole night. And I was like, I couldn't even cheer. I couldn't even get hype. It was just too sketchy of a situation for me, bro. But that's my Benoit Saint Denis story. I think his only friends that he had there that came to Miami were sitting right next to us. And it was sketchy. Onward to Natalia Silva. We took her to win by decision. Valuable bet, or confident bet, was her money line. Valuable bet was her to win by decision. Long shot was just in case Grasso came through because we thought this fight was going to be a lot closer than it was. I thought it was going to be a 29-28 kind of situation, maybe a split decision. I guess that I didn't know who Natalia Silva was because she looked like a female Aldo, except the way she was kept twisting her hips and turning her ankle. It looked like her ankle was going to snap. It was kind of scary to watch, but I guess that's just how she fights. She looked good. I don't see anybody beating her in that division anytime soon. I think she's going to get a title shot and win and become the new champion of that division because just remember that whenever she gets a title shot, she's going to be my pick in that fight most likely because she looked good. She looked scary. And then, I wish I didn't even have to talk about this. But then again, I think it's good that I'm going to talk about it because I need to spread awareness for the corruption that is Canada. All Dominic Cruz kept talking about was how clean the streets were. Does nobody care about how dirty the judges are? I mean, first of all, y'all did Ion Cutelaba wrong, which is fine. I don't care. It's not like it's the end of his career. He's just going to go on and probably win his next fight by vicious knockout in round 1. But what's Aldo going to do? Well, he's retired for one because I don't know, was it let's promote George St. Pierre's boy? I mean, feel free to comment on this and tell me I'm an idiot if you think that Aldo lost that fight. And to be fair, I do think that the rule set should change because Zahabi did whoop his at the end of that fight. And if that was like a street fight, if I got into a fist fight with somebody and that's how it ended, I don't care if he landed a couple more punches early on. If that's how the fight ended, I won. I'm walking away saying, yo, I won that. So I get that, but this isn't a backyard fight. This is a MMA fight in the UFC where Aldo just won 2 rounds and then lost a third. The fact that it wasn't a 29-28 in favor of Aldo, I mean, so when I seen him get pushed, he shot for the takedown and he got stuffed, he got pushed backwards, and Zahabi was on top, landing the ground and pound. I thought the fight was going to get called. And I was watching the time tick down, and I was like, dude, all he's got to do is survive. It's not a 10-8 round. He dropped this dude twice, earlier on in the round. So it doesn't matter if he's getting beat up right now. It won't be a 10-8. He'll still win. And whenever the bell rang, I was like, oh my God, he won. First of all, do you know how many of our parlays just smacked because Aldo decision was the last leg? And so my heart was racing because I was just, please survive, please survive. And he survived. And when I was like, what if they give a split decision to Zahabi? I'm going to lose it. And when they said all three judges, 29-28, I was like, okay, we're good. And when they said Zahabi, I was just like, no. Dude, my phone was ringing instantly. And just text message, robbery. I'm sorry, are you okay? Do you need me to come over? Don't drive. Just relax. We're on the way. Are you going to be okay? My boss, I know you're not going to be to work on Monday. So, that's basically what was happening on my phone. And everybody knew that Aldo should have won. But he didn't. He didn't. We picked Aldo. We picked him to win a decision. The confident bet was Aldo money line. The valuable pick was Aldo decision, and the long shot was Aldo by knockout. And if you watched the last video, you know that I straight betted Aldo by knockout round 3, and Aldo by knockout rounds 2 and 3, and Aldo by knockout, and just kept laddering it up. And whenever he caught Zahabi with that knee, I was like, oh my God, it's actually going to happen. Oh, well. Regardless, at least we got the decision. Oh, wait, no, we didn't, because George St. Pierre. I'm blaming George. This is all George's fault. I was all excited to see Aldo, he fought at UFC 129. He co-headlined when George was the main event. I was like, man, there's going to be some sort of moment between these two after Aldo wins where George is going to go in there and it's going to be all never happened. I don't even see George walk over there when Aldo lost. I definitely didn't see any retirement video or any shout out to Aldo. If the UFC already knew that he was going to lose, they should have had something prepped for him. I don't know. I don't know if there's corruption and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it's all just bad judging. Who knows? But I know that it broke my heart. And then my boy retired. So I will never get to go see Aldo fight live. I would have went, but it was in Canada. I've just been waiting for it to be in the United States. I was going to go watch. I was on a fishing trip when he fought in Salt Lake City, so I couldn't go. It's just always something. But, yeah, it's all good. I'll never get to see it now, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Moving on to Valentina Shevchenko. We picked her to win. We picked it to be by decision. Our valuable bet was over 4.5. Our confident bet was over 4.5. Our valuable bet was Shevchenko money line. It was plus money. She's an underdog. And then we took Shevchenko by knockout or decision on the long shot. That's the only other pick besides the Marc-Andre Barriou where we swept the board. We picked the winner, picked the method, picked the confident bet, picked the valuable bet, and picked the long shot bet. Valentina looked pretty good. I think that had she not broke that chick's nose in the first round, it would have been a different fight, kind of similar to Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. But, yeah, Valentina looked good, so she made me some money. I appreciate it. Now, dude, I was so stoked for Jack Della Maddalena. I was very stoked. I did not think that was going to happen at all. All my bets that I was going to win, I'd already won. So him losing didn't bust any parlays because Aldo losing had already busted him. So I was completely capable. I'd already made my money for the night. I was completely capable to forget about anything that I had originally bet on, and I could just cheer for Jack Della Maddalena. And it was awesome. There was no Bilal, because I picked Bilal to win. I thought he was going to get a TKO, ground and pound, 4th or 5th round. That was what I thought. So Bilal by knockout was what I was picking. My confident bet was Bilal money line. My valuable bet was under 4.5 rounds. People were asking me, why are you taking under 4.5 rounds? My explanation, I think Jack Della Maddalena will gas on round 4 and 5, and Bilal will take him down and ground and pound him. I thought Jack Della Maddalena was thinking his only chance of losing this fight was by decision. So if he got taken down, I figured he would jam an underhook and give up his back, do whatever, like give a Darce choke, give up his back, give up anything to just get up and get back to the feet. And I thought that maybe he'd get caught somewhere in there. Or Bilal would have the balls to stand with him and get knocked out. So I just thought the fight was going to go under 4.5. And it did not. It is what it is. And then the underdog pick, the long shot pick for the fight was for the fight to end in knockout, like plus 210, plus 220. None of that happened, but I didn't care. I'd already made my money, and Jack Della Maddalena saved the welterweight division. Although none of that matters because they robbed my boy, Jose Aldo. Breaks my heart. Okay, so if you know my strategy that I've been betting with for the past couple weeks, you know that I've been betting 14 units per fight. This being that Aldo was on the card and it was a pay-per-view, we bumped it up to 18 units. I did the normal 7 units on the straight bets. The 3 units on the ladder sequence. 0.2 units on the full fight card. A parlay of the full fight card, and then I did 1.2 units on 2 cycle parlays, and then 0.4 units on a long shot cycle parlay, which we always just throw that in there even though it never smacks, and then the rest of it were on just random parlays. So we hit a couple random parlays, we hit a couple straight bets, we hit one of the cycle parlays, and 2 out of 4 of our ladder sequence, which I will explain again because I really like that, and I think that people should start using that method if they're really confident in 3 fighters on the card. So the first parlay we hit was Sterling moneyline, Jasmine Jasudavicius moneyline, and Valentina Shevchenko moneyline. We threw 0.8 units on there. It was plus 268, so we turned that 0.8 into right around 3 units there. We had the Marc-Andre Barrieu money line. We had Navajo Sterling money line. And we had Valentina Shevchenko versus Ferro to go over 4.5 rounds. We put 1 unit there. Turned it into 2.9 units. It was plus 190. We had the Mike Malott money line, Benoit Saint Denis double chance, knockout or decision, which was a minus 450, but I thought it was just free money. I thought Valentina Shevchenko fight to go over 4.5 again. That 3-legger was only a plus 150, but we put a whole unit on it because we're pretty confident. Turned it into 2.4 units. The cycle parlay that did hit, let me go over the cycle parlay that lost, seeing as how I kind of forgot which one it was. Jasmine Jasudavicius by submission, which hit, but then we had Navajo Sterling by knockout, but he won a decision, and we had Mike Malott by decision, and he won by knockout. So if we would have flip-flopped that, that would have been 2 cycle parlays. But, it is what it is. And that was the one that we actually bet heavier on because I'll do 0.6 on that one. And, yeah, because we do 1 unit. So we did 0.6 on that one, and then we did 0.4 units. I'm going to change that next time. We got to go a little bit higher. We got to do 0.6 on both. We did 0.4 units on our other cycle parlay, which was Almacon by knockout, Benoit Saint Denis by submission, and Natalia Silva by decision. That was a total of plus 1806. So we turned 0.4 units into 7.6 units there. So that was probably our biggest win of the night. And we also had a little random parlay, Jasudavicius money line, Malott money line, and Benoit Saint Denis double chance. It was plus 141. Put 0.6 units there, turned it into 1.4 units. We had a Marc-Andre Barrieu money line, Jasudavicius double chance, submission or decision, and Benoit double chance, knockout or decision. Just did 0.4 there, turned it into 1.2. We straight betted Mike Malott double chance plus 110, put a whole unit there, turned it into 2 units. We straight betted Marc-Andre Barriou by knockout round 1 at plus 600. Just put 0.4 units on it, brought back 2.8. We straight betted Almacon by knockout at plus 380. 0.4 units turned into 1.9. But the ladder sequence, this is the one I've been trying to push out there to the homies. We took Almacon money line, Jasuda Vickers money line, and Malott money line, and we just went ahead and put 1.6 units on it. And that turned into 5.3 units. Then we took half of that, 0.8 units, put it on a more broke down version. I think it was like Almacon, money line, Jasuda Vickers versus Andrade to go over 2.5, and then Malott double chance, which lost because Jasuda Vickers got the early finish. But then we put half of that 0.8, we went down to 0.4 units, and we did Almacon by knockout, Jasuda Vickers double chance, decision or submission, and we did Mike Malott double chance, knockout or decision, 0.4 units, which turned into 6 whole units. And then we put 0.2 units on it, even more broke down. It's like Almacon knockout rounds 2 or 3, which didn't even happen. Jasuda Vickers by decision didn't happen, and Malott decision, which didn't happen. But the purpose of it is you put 1.6 units on your 3 confident money lines, then you won 5.3 units, and you're only betting, 1.4 units on the rest of them. So if the first one hits, you're already profiting. You can't lose. So if you're real confident, bet the 3 money lines and then break them down afterwards. But you got to be confident on those 3. And if not, what are you going to do? And then at some point in this video, probably right now, I'll think of something else to talk about while I post some of my losses, because you can't post your wins without your losses. I mean, I guess you can, but you guys know I told you I bet 18 units here, so, and I did not just go over 18 units worth of bets. So there's quite a few losses. But overall, we turned 18 units into 36 1/2 unit. So we doubled our money, which is good because we lost almost all of our money last week. We hit like 2 straight bets, no parlays, no cycle parlays. But this week, we got it back, plus some. So I'm going to be keeping track of my wins and losses, just, in case you do want to kind of build your own bets off of some of this information, or follow my betting strategy if you want. But we gotta be able to tell whether or not it's winning or losing. So, I don't mind letting you guys know if I'm losing money. It is what it is. I don't care. But, yeah, we'll be posting that up here somewhere along with some losses. And then real quick, we'll just, while those are going up, we'll just go over who I think some of these guys should fight next. Mike Malott. Let's give Mike Malott the winner of, or the loser of. No, we'll do the winner of that fight this weekend. What is it? Gilbert Burns and Morales. Give him the winner of that. He looked good. Give him the winner of that. Benoit Saint Denis, he wants to fight Gamrot. Let him fight Gamrot. Natalia Silva, give her the title shot. She's going to be the champ. Ayman Zahabi, kick him out. Just let him go somewhere else. Bellator don't even exist anymore. I don't care where he goes. I mean, well, you know what? I can't hate on him. I can hate on Mario Batista. Ayman Zahabi showed up, stood with Jose Aldo, stood in his face, got rocked him back, did what he needed to do to lose a decision. It's not his fault the judges screwed Aldo over. I think he did good. I thought he looked good. I thought he performed well. I thought the fight was close. I thought Aldo definitely won. But, props to Zahabi for seeing Merab, Volk, and Bautista give him the easy game plan to beating Aldo, and he didn't take it. He fought like a man, so no hate there. I got no hate for that guy. Got hate for a little bit of hate for Canada, but not Zahabi. He did his thing. Who does Zahabi fight next? Mario Batista. I guess he's fighting Cheeto Vera. I hope he loses, and then I hope Zahabi fights Mario Batista and wins because, at least he fought like a man, unlike Mario Batista. God, I hate that guy. I hate him so much. I really hate him. Valentina Shevchenko. Well, let her fight Natalia Silva. That's easy. And then start with Bilal. It's hard to say because Shavkat's out with the injury. Ian Gary's right there. Islam's about to skip his spot in line. And then you got Buckley and Usman fighting. So I would say, Ian Gary. If Islam's going to fight Jack Della Maddalena, then Ian Gary. It's his only option there. And unless Ian Gary wants to try to wait for a title shot, and then in that case let him fight the winner of Usman and Buckley. But I think Ian Gary versus Bilal. I mean, Bilal's going to be out for a little. You seen his lip? Thing's messed up, dude. It might be a little while before he fights. So, but yeah, my boy Jack Della. I mean, if he wants to fight Islam, let him do it. Let him do his thing. We need to find out what's going on with Shavkat Rakhmonov. But for right now, yeah, I'm cool with it. Let's see it. Jack Della versus Islam Makhachev for the 170 strap. I saw the odds posted. They're dead even right now, so I'm probably going to lean towards Islam in that fight. But I don't know. Jack looked good, man. He looked real good. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. But yeah. All right. So today is what? Monday? Yeah, today's Monday. I know because I've been at work all day and it sucked. So we're gonna get back to. I don't think we're gonna do an early recap this week. What's the point? Let's just wait until the odds drop and I'll give you guys my picks and parlays for the fight card this week. Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. It's going to have Rodolfo Bellato and Paul Craig on there, Sadiq Youssef and Myron Santos, which that's going to be like the hardest fight for me to call because Myron Santos looked so good before his last fight where he got absolutely destroyed and then won a decision, which doesn't make any sense. Dustin Stolfus versus Huzaboev. Definitely rocking with Huzaboev there. And then Milk Costas fighting Julian Erosa. I think that Erosa is really technically good, but Milk's just a little bit better at all the things Erosa's good at. So I'll probably be leaning towards Milk there. But things change. I'm going to watch a lot of tape and one that's going to be really hard to call, Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. We're probably going to go Gordon there because Moises is just, I don't know when the last time he fought was. I know he was really good when he first came on the scene, but nowadays I really don't know. And Jared Gordon beat Paddy Pimblett. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, so I think that'll probably be on Thursday. So tune back in Thursday and we'll give you our bets and parlays for that fight card. But yeah, until then, you know what to do. Don't gamble if you can't afford to lose.